Hi there, it's Martin Drager with FISHBUOY. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about a new feature we recently released with version 2.3. It's called the weather chart and can be found in the conditions tab. But before we go there, just a reminder to go ahead and download version 2.3. You can get that for free on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. So where do we find the weather chart? So from your home screen, click on the conditions menu from the bottom. Automatically, it's going to identify your location and load the Doppler radar map by default. As you can see on the left side, we have a number of map layers, including cloud cover, wind direction, and if you're a Great Lakes angler, we've got some really interesting and technical features, one of which is lake currents. So lake currents is actually a pretty cool feature, and I'll go into a little more detail about it, why I like it. If you don't have a fish hawk, and a fish hawk is basically a sensor that attaches to a downrigger and measures the velocity at the cannonball and the temperature at the cannonball and the depth at the cannonball. If you don't have one of these, you're gonna want something else to help you identify or understand how the lake currents are going to affect your lure while you're trolling. So in particular, in this case, we're looking at Lake Erie. We can see a predominant lake current at this time moving from west to east. And so if you were out there fishing and you were trolling west to east, you probably want to increase your traditional troll. If you troll at 2.4, 2.5, maybe you're going to be trolling at 2.8, 3.0. The reason that is you're going to be going with the current, and your lure action, if you troll your typical speed, will likely not move as flashy as it should be. Alternatively, if you're moving east to west in your troll pattern, you're probably going to want to slow it down. It may flutter too quickly if you're going directly into the current. At any point, this is a really good function and feature for you to at least start with and then learn while you're out there. I digress. We also have a really neat feature for anglers of the Great Lakes that looks at surface temps and bottom temps. We also have wave height. But how do we get weather conditions? So the weather chart was designed that wherever you click, you are going to get weather associated to that region. So let's just scroll down and select a location. To pull up the weather chart, all you have to do is tap and hold until the little red icon comes up and you start to see the chart loading at the bottom of the screen. Once it's loaded all the data, you'll see a chart as you see now, and the current date will show in the middle. So as you can see, we've got the date, the high and the low temperature value, the type of cloud cover you're to expect, the amount of precipitation, wind direction moving from the morning to the afternoon. And by the way, you're seeing imperial. You can always change this to metric in the app preferences menu. And in addition, we have moon phase, which can be very important. And ironically, this weekend, we are embarking on muskie opener in southern Ontario. And the reason I mention that is if we move forward into the forecast on Saturday, we see that we're going to be in a full moon period. Now, I'm not saying this rule is true in every case, but when I've fished on muskie opener with a full moon, we've caught some really big fish. And we've caught a lot of fish. And there seems to be a correlation between muskie fish activity and full moon phases. And so this weekend, we can see that Saturday may be a very favorable period to fish, either early in the morning or, again, as a waning gibbous directly after a full moon. It's going to be bright out there. You can fish deep into the night. So in terms of forecast, if we continue to move forward, you're going to see a range of 10 to 12 days of forecast that have all of the same data. And if we go back, we can also see a few days of historical data. And why do we care about that? Most weather apps don't show you the past data. They normally show you weather data from today and forward. Well, for anglers, it's very important to understand conditions prior to today. And why is that? Because if I'm a boat angler fishing the Great Lakes or a big body of water, I might want to know what the predominant wind speed and the direction has been for a period of time. It's going to give me an indicator of wave height and potentially where bait fish have been pushed on a body of water. Similarly, with river anglers, if we look at precipitation values prior to today, we may find that, in fact, that precipitation is creating an increase in water levels, an increase in turbidity. At least it gives us something to go by versus nothing. All right. Never mind the weather chart. You can also look at real-time marine data, and you can look at real-time water gauge data in the maps and data navigation item. So that's a bit of an overview of the weather chart. It's a fairly simplistic feature. Like I said, it allows you to search weather conditions from anywhere across North America, and it's coupled with marine data that gives you more information before you make a plan. So I hope this is an interesting feature for you. Please, if you have any feedback or any suggestions, shoot us an email at info@fishbuoy.com. Again, it's Martin Drager, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Join us on Instagram, FISHBUOY Official, or on Facebook, and hope to see you out on the water. And remember, more knowledge, more fish.